Have you got a car and do you know how much it's worth? Well, stay watching because we're about to settle some scores and you at home can see who knows best. Now, it doesn't matter how close your guesses are as long as they're better than the person next to you. And somebody here could walk away with this MP3 player. So stay with Tim, Jonathan, John and me, Chris Goffey, as we play Asking Price. Hello and welcome to Asking Price. Now, we've found a selection of cars that really are genuinely for sale. Now, our contestants must guess the asking price and we'll give a point for the closest to it. Now, if they guess within £50 of the real asking price, they'll get an extra bonus point or 2 bonus points for a direct hit on that price. Now, with me tonight are Tim, who's a food buyer with a Ford Fiesta, Jonathan, he's a student and another member of the Ford Fiesta Owners Club. And on the end there, John, who's got a good knowledge of the motor industry because he's a car valeter with an Astra. So let's get straight on with the first round. We've been to a dealership somewhere in the UK and our guide is Andy.
Now, we all know TVRs are a bit special, but take a look at this Chimera, absolutely beautiful. The Purple Princess it's known as. Come and have a look at the inside. It's got its own little matching dials to go with the outside colour. Handbrake and the gear stick, aluminium, half leather, half plastic, carpeted on the back. And look at this, for when you go on a picnic, you take the hard top off and you stick it in there. British made this car, made in Blackpool. T-Reg, only a couple of years, and take a look at how you open the door. Little button just underneath the mirror. In you get, and then you see the good news, there's only just over 17,000 miles on the clock. 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. Let's see how she purrs.
Monster car there, a real monster car. So, guys, start working out your prices, get those prices down. Bear in mind a sports car that traditionally does depreciate quite quickly. You don't know what's happened to it, you don't know how many people have thrashed it in its former life, but this one only done 17,000 miles, so a good bargain. Okay, all got your prices together. Let's see what you think the asking price is. Right, a wide variation in prices there. Tim, you've got 22,100. Jonathan, not far away, a traditional used car salesman. You've knocked £5 off 20,000 quid. And John, on the end, you're way up, £70,500. Do you really think you'd pay £70,000 for that car?
Not really.
You'd be happy to?
I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know?
No.
OK, it's a very specialised market, that. So, let's find out exactly what the TVR is worth.
One of my favourites, this one. Lovely colour, matches my eyes. If you want to bask in purple paradise, you're going to have to shell out 27,950 quid. Leaves not included.
So, Tim, well done. 22,100, you're the closest. Do you aspire to owning a TVR?
I'll have to save up a bit more first.
To save up a bit more, it would do you good stead in the clubs. Our second round features new cars, courtesy of the manufacturers. So let's take a look at the MR2. So Toyota's MR2 goes back a very long way. The very first one used to be criticised for rather sudden death handling. Then it went to a very smooth, rounded MR2, and this is the latest incarnation. They've gone to a Porsche Speedster look for the MR2, but, you know, not the same sort of prices as Porsches. So how do you price this two-seater car from Toyota? Get your pencils going. What do you think it's worth? Write it down. MR2 very popular in the States, of course, and becoming even more popular over here. And let's see what you think of the price of the MR2. Right, quite a wide variation again. Tim, you reckon just a fraction under £22,000. Jonathan is at 18,650, and John, again, you're pricing high there at £30,000. So let's find out who's right. Our roulette wheel spins. £17,980. So, Jonathan, you're the closest with £18,650. Very well done. You get a point. Do you like the MR2?
Yeah, they're nice cars. A little bit small.
Not enough luggage space for continental touring. OK, let's make things a little bit more unusual. This is going to be my favourite round of the series, Classic Cars. Over to Lynn for our third presenter and probably the most enthusiastic. Let's see what she's found.
Think of Jaguar and you instantly think of flat cap wearing old gits who shoot ducks at the weekend. Well, forget that, because this little baby is sex on wheels. Yep, it is the E-Type Jaguar 5.3 litre V12 engine. Wow, look at this baby. This is its owner, Colin. Hi, Colin.
Hi.
Can you tell us a little bit more about your car? Can we maybe have a peek at the engine?
Well, there we go. That's the beauty underneath.
Wow, 28 years old, this little baby. And it was rebuilt 6 years ago, was it?
Probably 6 or 7, yes.
6 or 7
I've had
years.
it 5 years.
OK, and how many miles has it clocked up since then?
6,108.
Wow. So you just take it for little jaunts in the country, do you?
Oh, in the summer only, because obviously you don't want to take it out in the wet, but when you do drive it, it's just sheer enjoyment, you know.
Wow, fantastic condition. I mean, even at the back of the car, it's got the original fantail on it.
Yeah, yeah. Everything about it is, when you do these cars up, you've got to keep them original, otherwise, they say the value goes, but it's nice to see them in great condition. You know, people say I've got an original one, but it looks a mess. But to me, if you've got a classic car, it's got to look lovely.
Yeah, 28 years old, I can't believe it. It looks like it's straight out of a showroom.
I wish I was in that condition.
OK, well, if Colin was mad enough to sell this little beauty, what would be the asking price?
OK, guys, get working. What do you think the asking price for a V12 E-Type? Bear in mind, E-Type values soared in the 1990s. They were up to £100,000 or more. Now they've slumped back down to much more realistic levels. And who can afford to put a gallon of petrol in one of those things every 15 miles? OK, let's have a look and see how you value a V12 E-Type. Right. Bit of a change. So, Tim, you're looking for a bargain buy there at 16,000 quid. Jonathan, you want to pay £35,000. And John, you think you'd pay £42,500 for a V12 E-Type. OK, let's see what the owner wants for that car.
So, Colin, I've fallen in love. This is the beautiful car. If I wanted to take this off your hands, how much would I need to give you?
40,000, and then I'd be very reluctant.
£40,000?
Yeah.
OK. And you'd consider selling it for £40,000?
Maybe.
Okay.
Reluctantly.
OK, he doesn't look convinced, does he? £40,000 is the answer. Sterling Moss, eat your heart out.
John, you're closest there. £42,500. A very educated guess, though I think that guy's a bit optimistic. I'm not sure it's going to fetch that at a wet classic car auction day. OK, let's see how we stand on the points now. And as you can see, 1 point each, so very close. And now to our quickfire round, and a chance to collect some bonus points by guessing within £1,000 of this car's value. Now, guys, once you've guessed, you can't guess again, and the time goes on, the amount of points on offer go down. So don't rush into it too far before you're sure what the car is. Let's have a look, see what it is. Can't really see much of it at the moment, but starting to emerge. Ah, we've got a buzzer there. Tim, you buzzed very early there. What do you think that is? And how much do you think it's worth?
Fiat Barchetta, 13.9, high 13s.
Yeah, OK, we've got to hand that to you. Very good. I thought that would be quite a poser for most people, but the Fiat Barchetta, lovely little Italian sports car, actually selling at 13,815. So very well done. Excellent. So let's move on to the next car in our quickfire round. Take a look at this. Jonathan, you buzzed. What do you reckon that is and how much is it worth?
I think it's a Citroen Zara Picasso, and I'm going for about 11,995.
11,995?
Yeah.
Well, you're right on the car. You're a little bit out on the price, but you know, you're within the £1,000, so we give you the point. £12,780 is the price of Citroën Zara Picasso, and of course, very, very popular at the moment, selling like hot cakes. So Citroën absolutely delighted with the success of that car. So how are you doing at home? Have you got the hang of it now? It's really dead simple, and here's one to keep you busy over the break. Now put these 3 cars into their correct value order, and starting with the most expensive. Now you've got the Alfa Romeo 3-litre V6 Spider, beautiful Italian sports car, the Lexus SC430 and the Audi RS4. See you after the break. Welcome back to Asking Price. So, did you guess the correct order for our 3 cars? Well, here's the order. First, of course, the Lexus, then followed by the Audi RS4, and finally, the lovely Alfa Romeo sports car. Right, so now we're going down the auction, John. So let's go over to Jo and see what she's found.
Each week here on Asking Price, we're asking our contestants to look around the car with us in the auctioneer's lot and guess the price it has gone for at recent auction. This week it's a Volvo, a 340 model. It was made in 1988 as an E-plate. It has an MOT and has travelled 129,000 miles. No problem for a Volvo, one would have thought. However, there is rust all over the place, even on the wipers. Now, rust is not particularly a problem when it comes to the vehicle's safety, but it makes you worry that the car really hasn't been well looked after, which may point to more serious problems. From the rear, this looks like another serious problem. The boot won't close. You can push it, you can shove it, but it won't close. Has this car been in an accident? How much would you bid for this Volvo? We'll tell you how much this car actually made after your guesses. Chris, back to you.
OK, get your thinking caps on. How much do you think it's worth? 13-year-old Volvo 340, 129,000 miles. But bear in mind, it's got an MOT, so some punter would love it, you know, and it'd probably suit a little old lady for another 10 years of happy life, as long as you can make the boot close, I suspect, with the aid of a sledgehammer. So, gentlemen, what do you value a Volvo 340 at? Right, so Tim, you would give 125 quid for this Volvo. Jonathan would give a massive £280 for it. And John, on the end, you take a distinctly dim view of the Volvo, 75 quid. So let's see what it fetched under the auctioneer's hammer.
So you'd like to know how much this Volvo went for. This 340 from 1988 was actually taken away from auction for the princely sum of £30. Yep, £30. Obviously, quite a few other people must have been worried about that boot that did not close. More from the auctions next week. See you soon.
OK, so it went for 30 quid, so John, you were the closest. John, you're a car valeter. Could you have made that car look better?
No, you'd have to give me 20 quid to take it away.
Yeah, give me 20 quid to take it away. OK, so we're off to find a private seller now, and here's Lynn to explain.
Is the Ford Fiesta Z-Tech S 1.6 litre, and this is its owner, Nick. It's 5 weeks old and it's for sale. Nick, why are you selling your car? It's only 5 weeks old.
I need to move abroad.
You need to move abroad?
Yeah.
Why?
I met a girl.
He met a girl. Lovely. So he's selling his car, he's moving abroad. Can we have a quick look round, Nick?
Of course you can.
Well, the paintwork's not looking that bad. Have you got any selling points you want to mention for us?
It's metallic paint. I mean, that adds a bit to it. It's a bit dirty at the minute.
Yeah, metallic paint, always a good selling point. Alloy wheels, nice wheels. Yes, as pointed out, it is a bit muddy. Have you heard of a car wash, Nick? Do you mind if we have a look inside?
Of course you can.
Very snazzy. Leather steering wheel.
Yeah, single slot CD player.
Single slot CD player. And the mileage, 2,500 miles. Nick, how the hell have you drummed up 2,500 miles in 5 weeks?
Well, I was pretty chuffed with my new car and I've just been out playing, basically.
So basically, he's ragged it. He is the ultimate bad boy racer. So he's going off in his holidays to meet the love of his life. Will he take his cash and run? What do you reckon the asking price is?
OK, guys, start writing your prices. Somewhat unfair on John because both Tim and Jonathan are founder members of the Ford Fiesta Owners Club, I suspect, and both of them run Fiestas, so they should have a good idea of what a 5-week-old 1.6 litre 2,500 mile car is worth. Bear in mind this is the S version of the Fiesta Z-Tech. So let's see what you think it's worth. Right, well, Tim says 8,500. Jonathan, higher at 9,800. John, you're the lowest of the three at 8,000. Let's see how much that car's worth.
So, Nick, you've got 3 weeks to sell your car. What's your asking price?
£9,000.
£9,000. Cheap at half the price. The things you do for love.
Well done, Tim. You're the closest, £8,500. So a point to you there. And do you think you'd get 8,500 for your car?
It's the same as that, but red. Probably not.
Red car, not popular with the punters. OK, now for the second of our quickfire round. Same as before, you can only guess once, and the points go down as more of the car is revealed. And the time starts now. Can't see much of it. Somebody buzzed straight away. Jonathan buzzed straight away. Jonathan, what do you think that is?
It's the Lexus, the new Lexus convertible, coupe convertible. Is it the 430?
Yeah, and what do you think it's worth?
48 grand, £48,000.
No, so you're out. Keep watching, guys. What do you think it is? This is Tim and John watching. Yes, we've got another Tim's buzz. Tim, what do you think it is and how much do you think it's worth?
So it's the Lexus SC, Coupe 430, £42,500.
No. So, John, you're on your own. There you go. Tell us what it is and what you think it's worth. Quickly.
Lexus 430, £55,000.
No, I'm sorry. I can't give that to anybody. In fact, it's the 4.3 V8 version of the coupe. Lovely motor car, but it's on sale at $50,850. And if you could negotiate a few quid off it or add to it, but you certainly would be up to the levels you said. So let's look at the next car in the quickfire round. Have a look. Can't see much of it there. Right, Jonathan, you buzzed. What do you think it is and how much do you think it's worth?
I think it's a Mercedes SLK.
Right.
Of
course, you don't know which version
I don't know which
it is.
model,
Quickly.
though.
How
No,
much?
it's about 34,000.
No, won't have that. Keep going. So it's Tim and John. What do you think it is and what do you think it's worth? Tim buzzed. Tim, what is it?
It's SLK. It's about 29,000.
No, won't take that. So again, John, you're on your own. What do you think it is and what's it worth? Quickly. John, what is it?
A Mercedes SLK.
Yeah.
£65,000.
No, way out. So nobody won the quickfire round because the 2-litre compressor version of the SLK, which is what that was, amazingly £24,725. And as I say, you can't buy one anyway because there's a huge waiting list for it. So let's have a look at the final scores. John, you got 2 points. Jonathan, well done, with 6 points, and Tim with 6 points as well. So that means the two of you go through to our final payoff round. But we've got prizes for everybody because I've got tickets for you to the Classic Car Show in Birmingham. So here we go, final payoff round. There's less time to guess, and the car is much trickier. To win this week's special prize, an AWA MP3 player, you'll need to guess within £1,000 of this car's asking price. Good luck.
Listen to that. Chris, you'll know this one, you know your cars. It's the Noble M10, absolute beauty. And as you know, the producer of this car, Lee Noble, he's got a new one on the market soon within the year 2002. The Noble M12, there's already a 1-year waiting list for that one. But I tell you what, this is an absolute beauty, the M10. 1998, less than 20,000 miles on the clock. It really is a belter. Come and have a look at the inside. Look at these lovely cream leather seats. Look at the walnut dash. Look at the steering wheel. Definitely for a sportsman, all this. A V6 Cosworth engine. It's an absolute beauty. And there's only 9 of these on the road. This is one of 9. Very rare. Something you're not going to see every day. I'm asking you now, what is the asking price?
Right, well, let me remind you, you've got just 15 seconds to write down the correct asking price. Time starts now. Very rare car, as you say in the video clip, you won't see many on the road, but Lee Noble knows exactly what he's doing in writing cars, so making cars. So let's see the price that you put on that very special car. Right, so Tim reckons £31,995. Jonathan, you say £38,000. You think that car's worth a lot of money? I mean, I would have pitched it as a kit car. Why do you think it's worth so much?
Yeah, I just wasn't sure. It's got low mileage and I thought it was around the 45,000 new, but I just went for an estimate, really.
And John, I mean, you're not in this contest, but a Noble M10, I mean, how do you price that? What would you have said?
Well, I'd like to say it's more of a kit car, so I would have said about 25,000.
Yeah, there's so many of these cars around at the moment. I mean, they're all trying to be McLaren GT, you know, top-of-the-range cars, but supercars, but somehow, to me, they never quite make it. So let's see exactly what a Noble M10 really is worth.
Well, I asked you how much it was worth. I told you there's only 9 of them on the road. Have you got it right? I'll tell you what it's worth. £18,000. It's not bad, is it?
Not bad, is it? He says £18,000. You're both well over, and I'm afraid that means that nobody walks away with the MP3 player, because we did say within £1,000. And in fact, John, you would have been closest to that price. Tell me, you're a car valet man. I mean, you can actually add a lot of value to used cars by valeting them.
Yeah, well, I tend to treat every car as my own. Let's say you can make up to between £1,500 and £1,500 more than what you paid for the car.
So if I went down the auctions and I bought an old Escort for £5,000, you could put another 1,500 quid on the value just by cleaning it?
Oh yes, and plus putting different bits on it, like stripes or a set of wheels, no problem.
Why aren't you a millionaire? I mean,
I wish I was.
Why aren't we all doing it? OK, well, if you'd like to be a contestant on the show, our full address is on our website, and that's at www.menandmotors.co.uk. Thanks very much indeed to our contestants, Tim, Jonathan and John, and to you for watching the show. Here are another 3 cars, and if you'd like to know their correct value, the answers are on the website. See you next week.